Hello guys, today we're going to be learning about dinosaurs. If you like this video, please subscribe and give a like. Let's start off with the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Tyrannosaurus Rex was 80 feet long. It was the size of a Cybertruck. It weighed 4 elephants and 1 giraffe. And it had the strongest jaws and had good eyesight, but it was very slow. It had short arms, so it couldn't attack with its arm, but it did attack with its mouth. It was about this fast. When it runs, it's this fast. When it's walking, it's this fast. Tyrannosaurus Rex had a scary looking face and a long tail to slap and 3 toe claws. But it was bigger than a human. It was 8 times bigger than a human. So it was really big. But it was not the biggest dinosaur at all. Indeed, you might have got surprised. Well, pretty soon in this video we will see the biggest dinosaur. But right now we're gonna do, maybe you've seen these dinosaurs a lot in Jurassic World, but this might look different to you than in Jurassic World. They call it Velociraptor. Did you notice anything different about the Velociraptor? Well, yes, it's about the feathers. And not about that. Velociraptors actually had a neck the size of they had a 9 centimeter neck. Their neck was 9 centimeters long. But they had beautiful feathers and spots on them. But their claws were different to what you've been seeing in Jurassic World or Jurassic Park. Do you notice what's on the head? I think you've seen this on John Hammond's Island in Jurassic World 6. Jurassic World 3. But on the Velociraptors, there was some things on their head. And those are feathers. Velociraptors were very, very speedy. And Velociraptor actually means speedy thief. And did you know that some Velociraptors make different noises? Some of them go like this. That is a gobble gobble. That's a gobble. Some raptors did gobble, and some of them did chicken, and some of them did, and that's a bird, but this is their normal noise. Yes, you might have been saying that this is a Therizinosaurus. Therizinosaurus has longer necks. Second, Therizinosaurus would be way more bigger. And the Therizinosaurus tail wouldn't have feathers. And their claws wouldn't be this long. This is a Therizinosaurus. This right here is a Therizinosaurus. But this is not. They look pretty similar, but Therizinosaurus is way more bigger than a Velociraptor. So let's put that back in there. So, yeah. Don't say this is a Therizinosaurus, even though it has long claws. Velociraptors had claws the size of a pencil, but Therizinosaurus had claws the size of a leg. So that was a Velociraptor. And it would run a race. It is faster than a cheetah. Wow. I don't even know if you can see it whenever it runs. Now let's see a flying thing. that's not a dragon or a pteranodon. But what it is a dimorphodon. They were dragon-like dinosaurs, but they didn't breathe fire and didn't crawl on two legs. Dimorphodons looked like dragons, but don't call them dragons because dragons could never be real. They used to have tusks. The males only had tusks, and the females didn't have tusks at all. And males were bigger and females were smaller. Males were more realistic than the females. But they had good stingers, and they were the only dinosaurs that had stingers. But they couldn't sting themselves at all with them. Even if they sting themselves with it, they can't. They just can't. It doesn't sting them because they're used to the sting. And they don't have any hands on their wings like other pterosaurs have. They actually have claws, like one claw on their wings. But those are not their hands. These are their hands. And that's what they use to catch fish. They put it down underwater and stab the fish and bring it up. But they were the size of a hawk. They were the size of a hawk. But the females were the size of a hawk. But the males were actually the size of an eagle. And an eagle is bigger than a hawk. So, it's going to be going now. Bye-bye. Now, let's see this dinosaur. Do you know what this dinosaur is? It's not a velociraptor. It is definitely not a Therizinosaurus. No, it's not a Brachiosaurus that walks on two legs. Okay. It is a Gallimimus. Gallimimus had long necks and walked on two legs. They were the first omnivores, which means they eat plants and meat, to be found in history. Well, dinosaurs, the first omnivore dinosaurs. But they're not the only omnivore dinosaurs. Raptor was an omnivore. Chinsosaurus was a raptor. And Raptor was an omnivore. But Gallimimus was the king of the omnivores. They were quick, but they weren't as quick as the Velociraptor. The Velociraptor is the fastest thing in the world. But they could also win a race if they had enough energy. Ah! But they didn't make that noise. They kind of made a hissing noise. For females, they made a hissing noise like this. But for males, this is what they sound like. For male babies, they would just sound like this. And for female babies, they would sound like this. Well, there's not much to say about the Gallimimus. It doesn't have any information. If you look in dinosaur books, and you see a Gallimimus, the Gallimimus wouldn't have that much stuff to talk about because they're not one of those other dinosaurs that have a lot of features. So it would be going. So this might be my favorite of all herbivores. It was the biggest Trichomonas, or you can call it Triceratops. It was the Triceratops. It was my most favorite It was my most favorite Triceratops. Triceratops are dinosaurs that walk on four legs, plant eaters, and they had a frill, and they had different numbers of horns. The Triceratops had 3 horns, but they could bang their horns. And this is a noise, and these are what the males and the females noise make. That's their stomping. That's how loud they can make their stomp, and this is their noise. That's their low noise, but this is their noisy noise. And that's their noise when they just get a little bit frustrated. They are herbivores, and when they charge, they go about this fast. But it wasn't really that fast. The males go this fast whenever they charge. The females go this fast whenever they charge. But these guys had the sharpest horns. It's like they were sharpened 1,100,000 times to make them that sharp. And whenever they attack, they literally get blood on them. Okay, that was a little bit harsh. So, let's see what we were back to. Oh yes, the Triceratops. Triceratops had, well, a beak. If you didn't notice that. But they were as this big than a human. My finger is a human. But the Triceratops, it is, well, 1, 2, 3 times bigger than a human. So humans can still ride on them. Yeah. So there's the Triceratops. Now this is something very related in the Triceratops family. Stegosaurus. It also protected itself with spikes on its tail. They would swing it and swing it. Like here. Here's one example. Here is where say a tiger. They would swing the tiger and hurt them. The tiger would run away. Because this is very sharp. This is as sharp as the Triceratops' horns. But these are not for attacking at all. These are for protection. If a dinosaur, here like a baryonyx, if the baryonyx bited its back like that, it would break all its teeth because of these. But it had a lot of teeth, if you can see it or not. Here, let's zoom in. So those rows right there, those rows of teeth, guys, if you can see them, those rows of teeth are the teeth of it. And if you take a closer look, you can see the little chemicals. Those hissing things are little chemicals of it. And this is what they do from the underground. Do you see those little line holes right there? Those are stuff that the Stegosaurus makes, and they hide some stuff in there. But from the far you cannot see it, but when you get really close to it, you can barely see it. And they were also plant eaters, but they had beaks. But really, in movies, they don't really show the beak. Sometimes in movies they show the beak, and sometimes in movies they just look like they have a T-Rex mouth. So now, this is one of the dinosaurs called, I like to call Sticky. Sticky was also called Styginoid. It could bump with a giant skull, and it was a herbivore. Nothing that much to say about it. So that was the end of our video. Bye-bye. I hope you liked it. Subscribe and like if you like my video and if you like my channel. Bye-bye.